Time Zone GMT, their newest addition to the Q Timex family. It does not take the place of the other Q Timex GMT that they came out with, I think it was last year. This does not replace that chronograph. It's an addition to their lineup. So they have made so many different versions of the Q Timex, it's pretty crazy. I did a news video when this came out, and I was very excited about it because I really loved the bracelet. Now, when I got it, I was excited about the bracelet and then a little bit disappointed. And we'll get to reasons why in just a few minutes. The functionality on here actually surprised me and then also slightly disappointed me. We'll get back to that also in just a few minutes. But I will tell you, this is a GMT that actually has a jumping hour hand. Very interesting that they did this, and I think that this is a Chinese movement. I'm actually 100% sure that it's a Chinese movement. They don't put any information about the movement in this watch. It's set up like a 7750. It is a quartz movement. Looks like a 7750. So you have the registers on the left side of the dial. That's kind of how a 7750 looks. You have the Q right there that is applied, and it says Timex, and then it says chronograph right below that. You do have a lot going on this dial. You have a minute track on a chapter ring. That chapter ring is black and is applied on top of the dial. And then you have applied indices. You have 3 sub registers. You have a 24-hour track up here. Then you have running seconds at the 6 o'clock or just above the 6 o'clock position. And then of course a 60-minute counter at the 9 o'clock position. You have the Mercedes style hands. However, they are Timex style hands. I would call them Timex style hands because you have that T rather than a Mercedes emblem. You have a fence post minute hand, and then you have a red GMT hand with lume in there. So there is lume on this dial. We will do a lume shot towards the end. A lollipop second hand with a lollipop counterbalance. You have a bi-directional friction fitted 12-hour bezel with a lumed case. Now the case doesn't have phenomenal finishing on it, and for a $239 watch, I wouldn't expect to have that great of finishing. But when you consider that for $375, you can get a PRX that is in quartz. That bracelet is finished as nice as the automatic version, the Powermatic 80. And this has a really sort of rough finish to the brushing. I'll do close-ups of it. It could be just my eye, but I don't know. It just doesn't look as nice. It feels really nice, a little bit off from the rest of the case finishing. That's really it. That's my biggest problem. This is a true GMT, as people refer to it, as a true GMT or a traveler's GMT, whatever you want to call it, a flyer GMT. So that means when you pull the crown out, obviously it hacks, which is great. Put it into the second position and it obviously mix. The brushing is just nicer. It's crazy, but there you go. It's just a cheap bracelet too. It's nothing, crazy at all, but unfortunate for Timex, I think. Here is the Timex on my 7.5 inch wrist. And you can see, I mean, it doesn't look, sign up with an email. Anyway, guys, really quick lume shot. Well, there's a lume. It's not terrible. It's not incredible. Obviously the chronograph second has lume on it, and that bezel pip has some lume in it. The applied indices aren't very liberally applied. I would say the hour hand has more lume than the minute hand, and then you even have a little bit of lume in that GMT hand. Those are probably the brightest, the hands and the pip, and then of course the applied indices are fading pretty quickly. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. $239, really not a terrible price considering all the functionality that you're getting here. It is a flyer GMT, a true GMT, whatever you want to call it. That's actually really cool. It does jump in 1 hour intervals, which is a little silly. They should have done half-hour intervals. Either way, this is really nice, especially considering that you can get it for around $200. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of Timex? This should have a sapphire crystal, probably my other biggest complaint. Obviously, Timex not listening about that. And you can see the lume pretty much faded. It's garbage. Not good lume on here.